All right, let's get right into it. Bitcoin's price today, Friday, February 27th, 2026, it's an absolute battleground. I mean, after the brutal week we've all just survived, a week that really tested our conviction, the market is sitting on a knife's edge. The real question is, who's going to break first?
And yeah, that leads us straight to the number one question that I know is on your mind. Is this little bounce we're seeing, is this for real? Or is this just another nasty bull trap designed to suck us all back in right before the next big leg down?
You know, I'm willing to bet you checked your phone this morning. You saw the price just kind of hovering there under $68,000 and you felt it, that familiar knot right in your stomach. It's that mix of hope and, let's be honest, pure anxiety. You're wondering, should I have sold higher or is this my last chance to buy? I totally get it. We're all feeling that exact same thing right now.
Well, look, the noise out there is deafening, but the charts are telling a very, very clear story. There is one specific number, a single price level that is going to decide everything for Bitcoin today. Whether we see a crash back down towards $64,000 or if we start that epic march to take back $70,000, it all comes down to this one level. And I promise you, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is in just a little bit.
Okay, so to figure out where we're going, we first have to get a really clear picture of where we are right now. So let's cut through all the opinions and the noise and just look at the hard data. Here's your no-nonsense breakdown of the market by the numbers. So as of this morning, Bitcoin is trading right around $67,729. Yeah, we saw a decent little bounce off the lows, but we're still in a really tricky spot here, kind of struggling to find some solid ground.
And over the last 24 hours, based on where we closed yesterday, the price is actually down 1.60%. Now what this tells me is that even with that little bounce from the bottom, the sellers are still out there, and they are not giving up without a fight.
Now, let's talk about the mood. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at a pretty chilling 16. And yeah, that's a little bit better than the absolute rock-bottom numbers we saw, but it's a huge sign that the average investor is completely terrified right now. And you know what they say? Be greedy when others are fearful.
Bitcoin dominance, meanwhile, is sitting at 58%. And you might wonder, why is that so high? Well, it's simple. When the market panics, money runs for safety. And in the crypto universe, Bitcoin is safety. The altcoins have been getting crushed even harder than Bitcoin, and that pushes this number way up.
But here's where things get really weird, okay? This is a huge pattern interrupt. While all the regular folks are scared, the futures market is screaming bullish. A mind-blowing 66% of leveraged traders are betting the price goes up. They're long. Only 34% are shorting. This is a massive, massive disconnect between fear on Main Street and greed in the derivatives market. And this huge conflict, this fight between everyday fear and professional greed, it's playing out right on the charts. The market is just a giant tug of war. And the key to figuring out who's going to win is understanding a few critical price levels. So let's break down this battlefield.
So on one side, you have Team Bull. Their argument, we just put in what's called a higher low around $64,700, which is a classic signal that a reversal might be starting. Plus, like we just saw, the futures market is super optimistic. But on the other side, Team Bear has a strong case too. We are slamming our heads against a wall of resistance above us, and the whales, those huge wallets, they're actually selling into this little bounce.
Okay, so the first line of defense for the bulls, the absolute must-hold level, is the 7-day moving average. It's sitting right at $66,900. For anyone new to this, just think of it as the average price over the past week. It's like a moving floor that's trying to hold the price up. As long as we stay above it, the bulls are still in this fight.
Now, the first hurdle for the bulls is breaking through yesterday's high of $68,800. This is the immediate ceiling. If they can get a solid break and close above this level, it's a great sign that the buyers are starting to take back control. And then you have the final boss, the big one, the 30-day moving average at $71,100. This line represents the average price over the last month, so it's a much bigger deal. If Bitcoin can actually reclaim this level, it would be a huge, powerful signal that this whole correction is probably over. A close above here would be absolutely massive.
Of course, price action is only half the story, right? To really get what's going on, we have to look at the news that's actually driving the market. These are the things that could either pour gasoline on a rally or send us straight back down. And man, the story is just so mixed.
On the one hand, we just saw the highest daily inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs this entire month. That's a huge bullish signal of institutional demand. But at the exact same time, on-chain data shows that big whale wallets have been moving coins to exchanges, which usually means they're getting ready to sell. So you've got institutions buying and some of the biggest, earliest holders selling.
And this right here, this captures the retail mood just perfectly. This is a real comment from a trading forum. It says, "It can barely stay above 67K, LOL, will crash very soon." This is pure, raw fear. It just proves what the index is telling us. The average person is holding on for dear life right now. But here's what most people are getting completely wrong. They're looking at the fear, they're watching the whales sell, but they are missing the one number that is holding this entire market structure together. Which brings us to the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to close that loop I promised you at the start and give you my honest, analytical take for what I think happens by the end of today, Friday, February 27th. So you've got institutions buying, whales selling, and everyday investors who are absolutely terrified. Which one of these forces is going to win today's battle?
The entire day, and I mean everything, comes down to this one number, $66,900. That's the 7-day moving average we talked about. It is the absolute line in the sand. How Bitcoin behaves right at this level is going to dictate everything that happens next.
So here's your playbook. It's really simple. Scenario 1, if Bitcoin can stay above $66,900 today, then the next immediate target is a retest of that $68,800 resistance. If we break that, then the path to that boss level at $71,100 is wide open. Okay, scenario 2. If Bitcoin breaks and, more importantly, closes below $66,900 today, that is a major sign of weakness. The next logical target would be a pretty quick drop back down to that recent low of $64,700.
And of course, I have to say this is not financial advice. This is just my analytical opinion based on the data we have right now for today, February 27th, 2026. Please always do your own research.
So what does this all mean for you? How can you actually use this information? Let's boil it all down into a clear, actionable plan for today.
Look, if you forget everything else I said, just remember these 3 things today. Number 1, market sentiment is in extreme fear, which, ironically, is often a buy signal. Number 2, the futures market is surprisingly bullish. 66% of those traders expect the price to go up. And number 3, the most important one, $66,900 is the pivot. Above it is good, below it is bad. Watch that level like a hawk.
Okay, now I want to hear from you. Seriously, based on everything we just went over, what is your price prediction for the end of today? Are you a bull or a bear right now? Drop your price target in the comments below. Let's see who nails it.